So there's only so much I can say. I was told that I only have about 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to give you kind of an overview of using videos in your marketing, and I'll go a little bit deeper on some parts of it. But let me get started. Okay, so this is me. Kind of looks like me, I guess. See a little resemblance? Rob with this photo, it's a little crazy with this broken camera. Okay, so this is me. This is actually me sitting in my office every day taking calls. And what I find is people call and they just don't understand this internet thing. I get that all the time. Social media, marketing, SEO, social media optimization. I'm sure Rob's chart really confused the hell out of a lot of people here. You know, and the truth is that most people are clueless when it comes to online marketing. They just don't know where to start, where to go, and they certainly don't know about using video. I get there, but I need to reach the point of profitability. Well, the thing is that too many businesses see things that way, so I'm going to kind of walk you through a more clean way to look at things. So the first thing is you need to have a strategy. Now, the days of having just random websites, random Facebook pages, random videos are pretty much over. It's not going to work for you. In the vast majority of cases, it's not going to help your business. You need to have some kind of strategy. And when it comes to video, I generally I break down strategy or objectives into two main areas. The first one being brand awareness. You want people to be able to find your business if they've never heard of you. And you also want to use videos for conversions and eventually for retention. And so by retention, I mean whether it's video, whether it's photos, anyone who's actively looking for a relevant answer to their question is going to use Google, most likely. And let me go back for 1 second. Now, in terms of branding, so back here, so I was pointing out brand awareness. So in terms of brand awareness, Google, it should probably be the first place that you start, because if nobody's ever heard of you, chances are they're going to go to Google and they're going to type in something, maybe insulation spray company like Rob was mentioning, or home phone telecom system, what have you, and they're going to go to Google and they're going to find you. So if they've never heard of you, they're going to use that for brand awareness. So you have the potential to use it for brand awareness. Now, I did a random search, and just total coincidence that it also has to do with home contracting. It wasn't planned or anything. I went to Google, I typed in, how do I fix the hole in the wall? And the top 3 results were actually videos, which really makes sense. Because these days, while people do read, they still read, a lot of people are actually moving to video. They'd rather watch a step-by-step of how to fix a hole in the wall than read about it. And to be honest, I would think that it's really boring to read about it anyways. And I have one stat that actually says 1 video visit. So that's quite a bit, and that's definitely compelling evidence to say, wait a minute, maybe I should have a video as part of my online marketing approach. Now, I put SEO your videos as though it's like, oh, there's nothing to it, just SEO your videos. Now, I take it for granted. I've been like I said, I've been doing SEO for a really long time. But yeah, when you're going to optimize your videos, whether it's on YouTube or if it's embedded on one of your websites, you want to have the right title tags and the headlines and a description and so on. Kind of like the usual suspects when it comes to SEO. But fortunately, I don't have time to go into too much detail. We can talk about it later if you want. But just be aware that if you want to get some brand awareness, this is one of the things to consider. Okay, now, few people know this, but actually YouTube is actually the #2 search engine in the world. And YouTube, of course, it's owned by Google. But whether it's connected or not is a debate for another day. But basically, you want to go where your customers are, and after people do searches on Google, you have to consider that they're also going to be doing searches on YouTube. So if you're looking for conversions, creating a video in this space is probably something you want to consider. Now, looking at possible objectives with your video content marketing. So you decide, okay, it's part of your strategy, you want to do the videos, you want to go to YouTube. What are your specific objectives? So I put a few up here just to get you thinking about it. If you're a dentist, your specific long-term objective might be that you want people to set up an appointment with you, especially if you specialize in a very particular procedure. So one thing you might want to do is create some videos talking about different dental procedures, showing before and afters and so on, maybe even testimonials from your clients. And enough to actually convince people to say, hey, wait a minute, this dentist is really good, and then you might satisfy your long-term objective, which is to set up an appointment. Getting back to the fixing a hole in the wall idea, or home insulation and so on, you might look at provide an estimate. So you might actually show people, hey, I'm really good at fixing homes, at renovating basements and so on. Your long-term objective could be to actually get people to ask for an estimate. All right, now in addition to YouTube, I just want to make it clear that YouTube isn't the only video surfing platform out there. There's Instagram, which most people know in general as a photography social media platform, but actually it does have video. There's Vine, which is connected to Twitter. You have like short 6-second videos, and so on. These other ones as well. Now it's important to understand that it's not about being everywhere. So I know Rob is saying, put everything everywhere. Again, I'm much more conservative in my approach. I say it's not about being everywhere. It's being at the right place for your strategy. You need to find the websites that work for you. So Rob was saying, he might have 30 different blogs that he'll post his content to. Well, when it comes to video, what you might want to do is actually find maybe 5 of those 30 that actually are relevant to your specific topic and only publish or post information there or post your videos there. So again, it's more of a conservative approach, but I think to some extent it's more realistic. All right, so I'll talk a little bit about your video content, the content itself. Now I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble with this, so I'm going to give you a bunch of tips as we go. First of all, trust. Trust is really important with video. I mean, with everything with online marketing, obviously is about trust, but with video in particular, you don't want to make a video that doesn't live up to what the title is. So if you're marketing a video that's like all about one topic, and people start watching the video and realize, oh, you know what, this isn't really, this doesn't really answer the question that I have, this isn't really what it was billed as, or all the hype about this video isn't there, you're going to lose out. Don't think that just because people watch your video that they're actually going to take any action. And similar, somebody was asking, between my talk and Rob's talk, somebody asked the question about, just being on the first page of Google, how does that affect you? Well, I can answer that as well, and in this vein of trust, well, when somebody finds your website, or when somebody finds your video, you need to be able to convince them that you're the right business, to handle the job, so to speak. So you can have the #1 ranking in a Google search engine results page for a very competitive keyword term, except if your website is really ugly with no usability, no calls to action, difficult to find phone number, no address, dated photos, a design that looks like it was built by a high school student in 2001, yeah, nobody's going to buy from you. They're going to hit the back button. Only in certain select circumstances will that actually make a difference. And that's usually out of desperation, meaning that they can't find any other businesses, so it's like, okay, maybe I'll actually go with this company. So it's the same thing with video. You really need to build up trust. And I'll tell you, YouTube's algorithms, just like Google's general search algorithms, are quite complex. They will analyze, they're able to analyze how deep into a video people actually watch. So if you have a 3-minute video and most people are stopping to watch that video after 10 or 15 seconds, Google's well aware of it. It also tracks thumbs up and thumbs down. It'll track the number of comments, and those comments are actually being thumbed up or thumbed down as well. So it's this whole kind of holistic view of the video, the quality of the video. And if a video has a lot of clout, builds up a lot of clout, it'll increase the chances of it actually appearing in a search engine results page. So it actually can help you with both brand awareness and conversions. Now, one thing you don't want to do is put out a crappy video, because every time you put out a crappy video, a puppy dies. Okay, just keep that in mind. Do not put out crap. You need to have good sound, good visuals, have a good script, good editing, Doing everything the cheap way. Like, I have a lot of people who have come to me over the past couple of years and say, oh, you know what? I shot a video with my iPhone. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. You can create videos with iPhones, it's true, but that's really experienced people can put out something of quality. And especially the post-production and the editing can definitely be an issue. Now, in terms of finances, yes, putting out video, as important as it is actually definitely a lot more expensive than a lot of other forms of marketing. It doesn't have to be, and I think in the long term, the prices will come down. There are some services out there like Animoto that will actually help you, do a little bit more editing, make it a little bit more flashy, what have you. But there is some expense aspect to it, something to keep in mind. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to talk about content marketing just a little bit. So if any of you have been involved in marketing, you've heard terms like Web 2.0 and PageRank and meta descriptions and all this other stuff. The latest hot thing that you're going to hear a lot of is content marketing. Now, content marketing is not new. It's been around for a really long time. It's just gaining a resurgence. And I'm very excited by this, and I think Rob is as well, because the fact is, if you're really good at what you do, like Rob is, what he's doing is content marketing, and that's what we do as well. And just to differentiate, just to be clear, when Rob is talking about SEO companies versus ad agencies, I agree absolutely that the ad agency aspect of it is key because they are telling a whole story. What you want to stay away from are SEO companies that are SEO freelancers or agencies, what have you, that are only looking at the minutia. They're only concerned with making small tweaks to a website to get it to rank really high in a Google search engine results page. They're not looking holistically, they're not looking at the big picture. And with content marketing, you are looking at the big picture. And so what is content marketing? Basically, in content marketing, the content is the ad. It's not the content of your ad. It's a very important distinction. The content is the ad. So for example, infomercials. People watching infomercials and buying from infomercials usually don't realize that they're being sold to for a half an hour or an hour. Because the infomercials are so good, they're entertaining, they catch your attention, and people will buy from it at the end. But it's not like sell, sell, sell. It's not like buy our product, buy our product, buy our product. It's look how wonderful it is. Look how wonderful it is. This can enhance your life. Look how wonderful it is. Oh, by the way, you might want to buy it. You can order now. But, look how great this product is. That's really the attitude of, that's really the way you have to kind of look at content marketing. It's a cleverly disguised ad, but it also has authenticity and transparency to it. I'll give you one other example. This is my favorite example. Transformers. Back in the 80s, Transformers, when Hasbro decided to put out Transformers, what they did was they said, we could put ads in between other cartoon shows and say, look, come buy our toys. But somebody had a brainstorm of an idea and said, no, wait, I have a better idea. Let's create a whole cartoon with a backstory to all the characters. Let's make it really interesting. We're going to add value by making it entertaining. And if people like what we have to offer, they're going to go buy the toys. And of course, the rest is history. Now, that concept back then was actually fairly novel, like in the TV world. It wasn't as common. These days, this type of marketing is much more common, certainly with product placement and so on. Or if you ever watch a fishing show, I love fishing, but you watch the fishing channel and almost every show is basically a half an hour ad for some location or product. So you have to choose a suitable approach. When you decide to make your video, do you want it to be funny? Do you want it to be serious? You're going to do something that's more technical, tasteful, and so on. You have to really think about, what angle do you want with your video. And my question to you is, and something you always have to consider is, do you practice smart video marketing? If you're going to use videos in your marketing, are you practicing smart video marketing? So the question is, for me is, does your video content deserve my attention? If I'm a consumer and I'm coming to you to look into something, a product, service that you have to offer, and is it going to be worth consuming? Is there something in it for me? It's very important to understand it's not all about you as business owners, it's about the consumers out there, the end users, the people actually going to buy your products and services. So I always say you have to consider, is your video worth watching? That's absolutely number one. worth watching, and it should be some mix of being useful, educational, and entertaining. So I'm going to show you just a few examples of videos that I find exceptional, relevant, and effective in this vein. So first is, will it blend? This is really old. This is actually, these guys were great. This is about 5-6 years ago. They came out with this series where they basically said, we have blenders are boring, how can we make this exciting? Well, video lends itself to making things really exciting. And what they started doing was taking random things, random items, and sticking it in their blender. So what does this show? Basically, it shows the quality of the work, it educates people, it was entertaining, and it's useful because you know that the motor on this blender is really powerful. So this took off. This is one where they're blending an iPhone. They have one where they're blending an iPad, where he first bashes up the iPad and sticks it in there. It's very interesting. It's very entertaining. Well, so this one's with the iPhone had 2 million views as of October of 2011, so a couple years. They have other videos that have like 10, 15 million views. It's remarkable. This one's more recent. I really love this one. It's Dollar Shave Club. This is basically, this guy just goes around talking about how if you pay a monthly fee, they'll send you razors to your house. And they've been extremely successful. They have almost 12 million views in about a year and a half, which is pretty remarkable. And to be honest, this guy is so hypnotic, I've come back just to watch this guy. Like at least a half dozen times. So at least like 6 or 7 of these is just me. It's just the way he tells the story throughout the video. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. It's fantastic. And actually, this became so popular, there's like a million parodies of it now. But most of the parodies really aren't that good. Remember, they're killing off puppies. You don't want to put out crap. Only quality. I have to give props to Home Depot, because getting back to what I was searching for before, this is one of the videos where how do I fix a hole in my wall. And Home Depot thought ahead and said, you know what? There's something to this. There's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there. How can we educate them to come, teach them what to do and then sell them more products? This is, to me, one of the best possible examples of video content marketing. They anticipated a need, and they made the video to answer that need, which is really fantastic. And at the end, they show you which products they used. So again, this is what I was saying. You want to anticipate consumer needs. It's really important. In fact, I'd say one of the most difficult parts of what you're going to do as a video content marketer when you're thinking about putting out a video is going to be to actually anticipate what do people using your products and services need to know. What do they have trouble with? What kind of questions do they want answered? And what lends itself to actually being shown on video. Now remember, a video is three-dimensional, whereas you can show photos of a wall and a hammer or plaster or what have you. Photos are great, but a video can give you the opportunity to go 3D, go all the way around the products, and really give you like a richer experience. Also, with respect to anticipating consumer needs, remember, you have to think of what your ideal customer will need, not just some stragglers. You think about your ideal customer, figure out the persona, and go from there. All right, now I have a question for you guys. What's the social secret behind American Idol? Any guesses? Don't be shy. Wait, I hear a voice. What?
Audience involvement.
Simon. Simon, okay, audience involvement.
It's basically allowing the coach, quarterback to get involved in the game.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. The social secret behind American Idol is that the consumers, aka the viewers, become part of the process, and they shape the entire, they shape the whole process into having the outcome that they want. Okay, so every week they're voting, and people get eliminated, and they're getting exactly to where they want to be. They find the one singer that they want, and when that singer produces an album, in theory, outside of Taylor Hicks and maybe one or two others, people will actually go and buy their work. This concept is called crowdsourcing. So this is your target market. Ask them what they want. Just go to them and say, what kind of videos do you want? What kind of information could help you guys better use our products and services? Something really important to think about. And Another way to look at crowdsourcing, actually, well, here, I'll just give you an example. So you've seen Google Suggest, that's pretty popular. Here I typed in digital camera, and then from the drop-down you have reviews, world, repair, comparison, and so on. But what most people don't realize is that every single major company out there now offers a suggestion box. So if you go to Amazon, I got different results. If I go to eBay, you get different results. And if you go to YouTube, you get different results. Now, if you were selling digital cameras, and you decided your long-term strategy is to put up videos and put them on YouTube, what you'd want to do is see what are people actually looking for. So for example, digital camera tutorials. Hey, if I own Canon, I'd be putting out tons of tutorials. And then I know that people are actually looking for it already. And not only are people looking for it, but YouTube is making it easier for new people who are looking for digital cameras to come find the tutorials. Now, if I had a popular video about it, it would come up at the top, and I increase my chances of actually selling my product. Okay, something else. Rob touched on this as well. He was referring more to blogs, but I'm talking about comments on videos. Mind your video comments. If you put up even just one video, look at the comments, read the comments. Something that came up that's very interesting here is that somebody pointed out that on the Home Depot video they said, how come when they have a hole in the wall they never show an after picture? So if I was Home Depot, I'd add in an after picture, or then start making videos emphasizing what happens after, because obviously that's what somebody wants. Oh, and by the way, she's not the only one. If one person was brave enough to actually, write something like this, chances are there are many, many more people who actually want this information or would want to see an after photo or something, more on the outcome. Okay, now, here's a bunch of content ideas because people are always asking, I have this kind of business, I have that kind of business, what should I be doing? And what I love to do is emphasize create a how-to video because people love how-to videos. Nobody wants to read. Reading is still important, but generally speaking, people are getting more and more accustomed to videos. They want to see a how-to video. But you can do all these different things. Film client testimonials, have some sort of weekly roundup. You can have a show, create your own show like with Google+, create a Google Hangout. By the way, Google+ is obviously tied into the Google system. You definitely want to be involved. Whether you think people are using it or not, just get in there. There's something to it. What else? You can host a Q&A series. Throw a party and encourage attendees to actually take their own videos and then put the videos up on Vine or Instagram, get the word out there, and so on. All right, now, once your video is up, you need to promote it. You need to tell people. If I were this guy, I'd tell everyone. Tell everybody about your video. Get on the social media platforms. Work it. Promote it on Twitter. Promote it on the different sites. So I made a few suggestions. At that point, you've got your video. Put it on Twitter, Facebook, Vine, Instagram. OneLoad is interesting. It's actually a service that will distribute your video for you and actually give you some results. So that's they'll give you analytics to look at, which is nice. I put Amazon on here because what a lot of people don't realize is Amazon will allow you to actually put a video with like next to your books. Like they can have like a product testimonial, or a book testimonial. They'll have some product demos next to the products. And Amazon obviously is also one of the most visited websites in the world. Having a video placed there can be very effective. And lastly, you want to analyze your data. Unfortunately, obviously, I don't have time to go into details about this, but just doing all this means nothing if you're not actually looking at the data, looking at the return on investment, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and then making adjustments all the way through. And that's it. That's all I have for you.